You live in your best, prepare for the worst. Cali go make me know it's a must. Then I taxi, they know I'm a boss. We know my mind and me team not the loss. Me team not the loss, 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 me team not the loss.
Yo, it's your boy, Big Boy Biggs. We're here today again on the set, afroaussiepodcast. I'm sitting with somebody who's very, very talented. She does acting, modeling, writing, film. She's pretty much like the face of us Africans trying to be in that entertainment space. So I'm sitting here today with Suzan. She's been somebody I've known for a very, very long time. She's done a lot of things within the community, and I'm very proud of her work that she's done. So I'll let you talk to the people.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's right. It's been a long time because I remember when we first met. We first met when we was working at in the corporate environment. We're not gonna say the name.
Yes.
But we met when we were working in the corporate environment, right? And then from there to where you are today, it's a testament of the work that you've put in. Like I really respect what you've done, and I think everybody watching this podcast should really reach out or just see how she can help you. But I'm gonna let her story speak for itself. So you've done fashion, acting, writing. You're doing movies. You do a lot of things. So tell me, when did you realize that you can do this? Because you came from a corporate environment, right? To something way out of it. So tell me, when did you realize this is something that you wanted to do?
Yeah. So with my journey, obviously, with me getting to know you, that was the corporate.
Yeah.
Before you, I was picking and packing boxes in a factory.
Wow.
And exactly, see, this is how you get to know people. And then it was a magazine factory that was in high school. So part time, I would go do that, and I would look at and I used to look at those magazines, and I'm like, one day I'll be that girl. One day I'm gonna have clothes and dress up models and be in Vogue magazines. We used to do Vogue, and I used to pick them, and my manager would get so frustrated. She's like, Susan, pick the boxes. And I could literally see my life before me. But the dust, the peaking, you're in that dark corner, you can't see any glimpse of light. The only little hope I had was me envisioning myself in the magazine. Fast forward, finished high school, went to I did a Bachelor of Visual Communication. I majored in fashion design. And then obviously during that period, I hadn't gotten any work. Then I meet you at the corporate place.
Yeah.
But my humble beginnings started a long time ago. So that manifestation just happened.
But that's the thing. It's very interesting that you say that you saw yourself there.
Yeah.
You saw the vision before you even started doing your work.
Yeah.
This was you in high school. You haven't even started going university yet, right?
Yes.
So you decided to pick a path that's gonna get you to where you want to go.
Yes.
It's very important because nowadays people want to do something. They want to see themselves somewhere, but they don't know the steps to take. The first step to take to get to where they want to be.
One thing I'll say is there is a misconception of where sometimes people feel like you have to be famous, you have to have the money, you have to be somebody to be where you need to be. I was a nobody that saw myself in the future, like I could be this girl, I could be so influential. I admired the red carpets.
Yeah.
I wanted to walk those red carpets. I wanted to dress up in beautiful gowns.
Yep.
But then if you looked at me, I was dressed up in black tracky pants. I had my hair backwards on a scarf. I had gloves on, nails work. So you literally, but then understanding that success is not just for the white people, the famous people with money. Success is for everyone.
But it's funny why you said Susan, because if you think about it, right, there are a lot of people out here in our community that thinks that success, for you to be successful in all those things, you have to have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like you started with a dream.
Yeah.
By looking at a magazine.
Yeah.
And look where we are today.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about you on Carl and Jackie O show, you everywhere in this country that people has to be. The truth has to be said, because sometimes because I know you, some people get a bit jealous, or some people get a bit, oh, what is Susan doing? Like, it's not one of those things. One thing I respect about you, everywhere you see somebody you know, if they say hello to you, you will say hello back to them.
Yeah.
That's one thing a lot of people forget.
Yeah.
And you were very approachable.
Yeah.
Because people think because you're there now, they're scared to approach Susan.
Yeah.
But now let's talk about, you wrote a book.
And
right?
before we proceed with that, I want to add that it doesn't matter how successful you are, you should never forget your roots, where you come from.
Yeah.
As much as there is discipline, hard work, but always remember where you came from, because without those people, without those communities, you wouldn't be where you are, because it also is a growing process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a beautiful thing, because it's very hard for people in the community.
Yeah.
Some of them see you, like for example, people see you on the street. They don't really approach you and say hello. They a little bit timid or a little bit scared.
Yeah.
I've seen you in a lot of places, a lot of people circle around you. They don't say hello to you, but I'm like, I know Suzan. I'll just go and say hello.
Yeah, of course.
And it's
yeah.
always been like respectful, receptive in the terms of the way we communicate.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm a bit busy, but we'll catch up, we'll talk.
Of course.
So that's just the way you've been.
Yeah.
Which is why I think
Thank
you've
you.
been very successful in what you're doing,
Oh, thank you.
because you always put the people first. Your people are always going to be ahead
Yeah.
from where you came from to where you want to be to where you are right now.
Yeah.
Now, okay, you took me off when I was about let's get into your book, right?
Yeah.
So this book you wrote, what's the inspiration about putting your story out there for your audience to actually read, and what message are you trying to send to the people reading your book?
Well, the immigrant that found her unapologetic voice is a message to the generation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a message to the generation. It's a message to the immigrants. It's a message to my people. It's a message to everyone who has ever had a dream, ever had a desire, ever dared to be somebody, and to understand that my journey was never a journey where it was things were handed to me. I worked hard for things.
Don't even start. I know how hard you worked with the corporate environment.
So I never worked for things. I was never given handouts. I was never the girl they picked for prophet because she or be a prefect or a captain because you're pretty, or or you're promoted because of this. I worked hard for everything. Every position I've ever been in, whether I was here, I worked hard for it. And I think for me, I wrote that message or that book to show people my journey, to understand it was from humble beginnings. It was from me having a vision, me having literally a vision board. Because I remember before I even met Tom Cruise, I had Tom Cruise on my vision board for 3 years.
So that was 3 years in the making.
Yes, I had that man on my book, and I said he's one of those people I will meet one day. Pharrell Williams, he's a guy I had on my vision board, and I remember there was a guy dressing me for Fashion Week in Paris, and he was in Sydney, and he goes to me, "Who's the person you're gonna meet?" And I told him, "I'm going to Paris Fashion Week in 2 weeks. I'm gonna meet Pharrell. And we're gonna have a conversation. He needs to know how I feel. I need to let him know, give him his flowers." And I was just talking, like just randomly. Next minute, a week later, it manifested. Sometimes I want people to know it's vision, dream, manifestation, prayer. I'm one of those people. I believe strongly in prayer. I believe strongly in the discipline, the hard work. You can't cheat hard work. Do good regardless of how people treat you. Always do good. I believe in karma. Give good things. Be nice to people. Be kind to people. And and growing up, I never had role models.
That's the one thing I want to touch on as well, Susan, because like when you started this journey within the African community, did you have any role model you looked up to? Someone you can say, "Oh, she's doing it. I can do it myself."
I'll be honest with you, as African Australians, in young people growing up, we don't have those role models on TV we can look up to and say, that boy inspires me, that man inspires me. I never saw that. TV is so Caucasian, so whitewashed in all the things they produce, and this is not coming from a place that is bad. It is the culture that is here.
It's just the way it is.
It is what it is.
I feel that as well in corporate environment. I walked into work. Sometimes I go into a building or a conference or a seminar. All I look around is myself. Like I have a reflection of myself.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I don't see other people. When I see a black person, I get so excited.
Yeah, and that is the most honest truth. I grew up on a street where my family was the only black family. All our neighbors knew us. I went to schools where I always felt the same. All my university was international, and still I always felt the same. So it becomes the norm for you. But understanding that I never had those role models, but I always say I had sent angels my way. People who had the courage, the discipline to believe in me, and they gave me direction. I remember my teacher after high school. I thought I was going to be a lawyer, but then I looked at my marks and I'm like, I can't be a lawyer with these grades.
These grades, I'm a lawyer.
They
I'm a lawyer
can't.
already.
And then my teacher, Mrs. Arela, I'll never forget her. She goes to me, have you ever thought of doing design?
Really?
Would you ever do fashion design? And I'm like, oh my gosh, in Africa? African parents don't believe in fashion design.
No way.
Like, how do you start singing? How do you even start, like, fashion? Are you kidding me?
No
I'm
way.
finished. She goes to me, she told me it's possible. And I was so delusional, naive enough, and brave enough to believe her. And I did it. There's so many people, me becoming a fashion designer, I used to volunteer in charities. I would make clothes for charities to raise funds for them so that they can like sell the clothes and donate money to charities. From that, doing that, I met a lady. Her name is Faith. Yeah. She goes to me,
that's a name, Faith.
Literally, she had the faith in me. So it's always been, and then she helped me promote my clothes, ended up on Vogue, designing clothes on X Factor. I've dressed Kelly Rowland. Rihanna has gotten dresses from me. I've dressed The Bachelor. And this at a young age. But it's always been these voices. It's also discerning. You need to discern and hear the right person that's speaking to your spirit in that season.
But that's the thing that's very important because, like, for example, I'm very close to soccer or football in this country, right?
Yeah.
So there are kids out there, I pull them on the side, put my arms around their neck, say, you need to do this, you need to do that. But like you said, do good and good will come your way. Yeah. So you volunteered to make clothes for charity, right?
Yeah.
And then you came across Faith.
Yeah, Faith.
And Faith brought you here, which was your destiny.
Always. And it's always been those people that have the courage, even if it's through resilience, even if it's through a lesson, even if it's through my fears, they have the boldness to tell me, oh, and it resonates so deeply.
Yeah, but
that leads me where I need to go.
That's why you've been able to build a strong brand at a high level for a very long time. Because if you think about it, some people get this short fame for 1-2 years, and then they just fade away. Tell me the secret that's kept you high level at the top for so long, and you haven't even scratched the surface yet. This is just Australia. You've conquered Australia right now. I could say that with confidence, right? So now, how do we get you global?
I don't know if I feel like that, but I appreciate it.
Think about this, yeah. Where in Australia that a fashion designer or an influencer or a role model is supposed to be in Australia at the highest? What's the highest level in Australia?
I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. Because Australia is a very small space. Now we need to get to the global stage. But tell me first, what is the secret that's kept you at this level for so long?
God. I'm always on my knees. I know it's cliche, but that keeps me going. But also knowing who I am. I know Suzan really well. And some people have never sat in the silence to know who they are, to know their fears, to know what they're capable of doing, to believe in themselves so wholeheartedly when you don't have soldiers or people to encourage you on the next step. Every step, you gotta believe yourself so much that even when the noise is so loud and your friends can't champion you, encourage you, you're your biggest encourager and supporter.
And you can hear yourself, you can see yourself, you can vision yourself being there. With all the noise happening around you, you know your destination and you know exactly what you needed to get there.
Like, I'm not a girl who needs a friend to take me to the toilet. No.
But that's very, very good because it's a good segment getting into this part now, you being on screen. So we know the glitz and the glam on the red carpet, it's all laughing and smiling and having fun, meeting up all this important people. And then you draw the curtain back and you say, what would Suzan do? And then you wrote a book, okay? And then that's another layer to you, right? Yeah. Now let's go into the movie. In movie, you have to change moods.
Yeah, of course.
So when did you realize you can act as well?
So high school, I used my strongest classes were visual arts and drama. My play in high school was the best in the whole school.
Wow.
We even went to the Parramatta River Theatre to play it. And I had the most freedom. And those are classes I was so scared to take. Yeah. And then when I finished school, obviously I went into a Bachelor of Visual Communication. I majored in fashion. And I told in those spaces. Yeah. But then I met this lady, again, the Angels. So I was just walking the streets of Town Hall. This lady's like, we're looking for actors. You're black. Do you know other black people? And I'm like, girl, I know just myself in my street. Yeah. And I didn't have a lot of people that I knew then. So she told me, I need you to audition for Wolverine.
Oh, Wolverine, yeah.
That was my first role. They needed black people, and it was between me and this other girl. We're going tag to tag like that. Who gets
Yeah.
it? And then they were like, we take both of them and we'll create a village for them. And then from then, she goes to me, take a course at NIDA. And I did a summer school course at NIDA. She kept putting me in extra work. And then gradually I started getting little small roles here, supporting roles here with my brother, John Kay. Thank you so much. And now I've just done a film with Daniel Okudua called Century Prayers.
Hobbes's hypothetical state of nature. Everything falls apart and chaos rules. We were never lost, just waiting to be seen. Pariahs, outcasts, unwanted. I scream, I shout. No one hears us. We are too far below the ground, on the very edge of insanity. Caterpillars turn into butterflies.
Now you a butterfly, Belle.
Guilty before trials. We've become renegades.
Do you know he's a married man? I might be ashamed of his family, but I'm not living a luxury life. I'm telling you.
I'm so sorry. Freedom is expensive. Love is torture.
I said it, you fucking fucker! Just drive!
We are mere shadows of the dreams we dream. A crumbling wall of a world we seek.
You know what I mean.
You girls are going my way?
A century of open arms, eclipsed by the wilderness of our past. Like water, we move.
All right, now let's talk about that movie because I've seen your social. Like I always wanted to be. I'm also a creative mind as well, but I haven't really had the strength to really push myself to get. But it's very interesting what you're saying. Like I have the concept in my head, but that belief, because the corporate world is fun. Go in, you sit down, you get paid, and you get up, you go home. That's just what it is, right? So now, this movie, tell me about the process, how you came about, how you got approached, how you came about being a main cast in this movie. What was it like shooting that movie? Let's break it down.
Okay, another thing is I will give a little tip to people. Show up. I was never invited to audition for this film.
Okay.
I didn't even know any.
Because I keep seeing Daniel's putting all this audition tape, but I never saw you.
Okay, so I never I was not invited by Daniel. He was doing his own thing. I'm doing my own thing. And then one day at night, I was like, as you scroll through your Facebook, and I was like, audition? Oh my gosh. And then I said, I put my name down, I'm coming. I didn't even talk to Daniel. I wasn't talking to Daniel then because, people busy, life gets busy unless you're in communication with people. So that Sunday I went to church. That's when they were doing audition. I realized later that was the last day for the auditions.
No way.
I walked up into this audition. I saw my friend Daniel Dooley. He works for Channel 10. And I was like, mate, are you coming for the same audition? And he's like, no, like my mother-in-law lives around here. So I'm just visiting my mother. And I was like, really? And then I'm like, oh, I'm just coming for an audition. He's like, this is yours, Suz. I know this is yours. And I'm like, all right. If I win it, you got to interview me. Okay, mate? And then we just, banter back and forth. Yeah. Walked in. I remember I walked in, I see this guy. We do the scene like in 2 minutes. Like I read the script and I'm like, this is easy. He looks at me, oh, this is great.
This is
Let's
cakewalk.
go in. So we just go in and everyone is like, Susan's here. No one expected me to come. I was never invited to do an audition. I just showed up
Yeah.
and I realized that was the last day of the audition.
Wow.
I did my thing and I said, if I get it, great. If I don't, I don't. So I wasn't even thinking about it. Then later on, I heard I got it. So I'm like, psh.
Okay. And then now let's talk about the filming process.
The filming process.
Yeah, like on set.
On set, it's a lot of work on set.
Talk to me about it. Was it fun shooting the movie?
Of course, like any when you're doing a movie, you get excited about, oh yeah, oh my gosh, I'm a part of a movie.
Yeah.
But it's not as in, oh my gosh,
It's different from the red carpet. Didn't think about it because sometimes you
Oh
have to
my
dress
gosh.
like really like
Let me tell
homeless,
you,
like that, and then
my red carpet moments, I know how to make things look easy.
all right.
I've learned to make things look easy.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I'm a very shy person. And people don't see that. And also, those clothes are heavy. They're so heavy. The lights are in your face.
Yeah.
You're turning right and left. By the time you're done, your shoes are off. Like sometimes when people meet me on weekends, they think I look homeless. Like they're like, who's that girl? Like if you compare the two people, I look so different. When I get off the red carpet, when I get in my car, I'm straight up naked. My friends have seen it and they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, I can't. Just take it off. Just take off the whole thing. Like I need to be. Like it's as glamorous and it's fun and it's la da da in that 2 minutes moment.
Yeah.
After that, you're done. Like any child, you just want to be.
You just want to be home, and then when you go on set, it's more different because you don't have to worry about all those people. You don't have to put on a smile on your face 24/7.
I think on set, one thing people don't understand as an actor, being an actor is one of the most hardest things.
Oh, definitely.
Why I say that is because what I love about acting is you don't get to really act. You get to be authentic self.
Yeah.
Like I could be like, what did you say?
Like you could go on
Like
set.
right now I'm acting. Like I'll
Yeah.
be like, so what did you say? Let's do a scene. Let's pretend we're in a scene,
All
like,
right. What's the scene about?
Okay, the scene
Because you
is
did a short
like
movie as well.
the scene is like, yeah, as you see, we got a lot to talk about. Okay, so we just met on a blind date and
Yeah.
you don't know me. You found me waiting for you for 10 minutes.
You all right?
I pick up my drink and I'm like, you're on African time. What happened to you?
Oh, Africa, man. It takes a bit of time for us to be able to get ready, but then we don't respect time. That's our problem.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't roll like that.
But you're African.
It doesn't matter.
But why is time so important?
Time's money and you wasted my time.
But that's how we see time.
That's principles. I'm sorry. I'm going to finish my drink.
Yeah?
I'm going to leave you here.
Oh.
I've already ordered takeaway. You'll be paying.
Okay.
All right, bye.
All right. So that's acting.
You're done. Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Wow.
That was acting.
So you literally just transform who you are and what you are, but be yourself. But then
Exactly.
is there more emphasis that goes on the drama part of it, like crying on set?
Oh, yeah.
I saw you do a lot of crying, like carrying load. I saw a lot of. Don't worry, I'll be watching you from the side.
What you mean? What are you talking about? The short film or are you talking about Daniel's film?
Like Daniel's film, I saw you like walking around like homeless, getting like bundles on your head. Like don't think I don't see things, right? So how is that moment feel like? Okay, you go from a red carpet, humble, cameras, blah 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 blah, and then you go isolate. You're on set, but the camera's still there.
I love it because you're being your authentic self and you're giving a bit of yourself to this character. You're living it. You're giving your authentic self. You understand where this character is going. She knows why is she here? Where is she going? What is the purpose of everything? When an actor picks up this glass and they're drinking, there's a reason why they're picking it. You don't just pick it because someone tells you to pick it. You have to find out, why am I picking it? Is it easy for me to pick this glass? Or if I could be like this, sometimes I don't even need to talk to tell you I'm upset.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and I think with acting, you need to make the right choices in every situation. And for me, that's one thing I've realized with acting. You need to be so intentional. You need to commit wholeheartedly. By the time you're done with the film, you're like, please don't talk to me. I don't want to know about this film for the longest time. Because you've given your heart and soul to this
Character.
to this person.
Yeah.
You know, and you've really immersed yourself so much. I remember there's a time Daniel call us back and he's like, "Oh, can you do audios and go back to that moment?" I was like,
I already dropped that character.
I really don't know why. What was she thinking? Why did she do that? You know. But then when I look at her, I'm actually also thinking, "Whoa, what was wrong with her? Like, why did she choose that?" So it's that kind of thing. Like it's an interesting journey, but it's fun and it's also exciting to get to portray different characters that inspire other people. Like this film Daniel has done, it's so relational. It's two outcasts that are looking for pariahs and safety in this sanctuary, but they are not wanted. They are outcasts. They're looking to belong. They're looking for their identity. They're trying everything. It's intriguing. I can't give you everything, but
I can't wait to see it. That's why
You
I was
have
asking
to.
you before we got on set. I'm like, I've seen a lot of things about this movie. I'm like, when is this
you're
movie
right.
gonna be out?
It will definitely be out. Just keep an eye out. But definitely something worth to buy a ticket.
Save the time
and-
for it. Buy your ticket. Save time for it. Let's
You
support
have to.
our own, because this movie, like she said, you all heard what she said. She really devoted herself into
Yes.
this character. She's making a great content for us. She's a role model in the community. I think the only way we can elevate her, because this is one thing I've learned just coming back from Africa the last few months. Like African people, we need to recognize what we are doing, because the
Yeah.
only way we're gonna be recognized is we are collective.
Yes.
You're doing great things as an individual, but if you have 6-7 of yous out there doing the same thing, then it becomes a little bit different.
Yeah, of
So
course.
you can open the path for other kids that are trying to get into that genre, get into that space. All right.
And I love that you said that, because that's one thing that I got excited when I recently applied for Screen Australia, and my
Oh yeah, I was gonna get into that, but I'll let you continue that. That's a
I'm
big
so
project
sorry.
coming up.
I'll be jumping on things.
But it's exciting. It's exciting. I'm happy for you. It's exciting.
Yeah, so like it got greenlit, but like I'm in this process. It's a hard process. I can't really tell you the process right now because it's a hard process, and
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like moving slowly. But one thing that's one thing that I love to do is to create platforms where I can give people in my community
A chance to
opportunities to shine,
Yeah.
like the young generation. And that's why I think unapologetically Black Afro Sisters is so important to me, because I see the younger generation acting, young girls in high school being their full self without holding back, us telling those authentic immigrant stories that people don't see every day, how we relate at home with our moms and parents versus going to school and then meeting your Caucasian mates, and then versus you bringing your jollof at school,
Yeah.
and then versus them being like, what is
What
this?
is this? It's so.
So
No, I'm very happy for you. So now
Thank you.
on this platform here, we want to promote like role models. We want to promote people with real story that's impactful within the community. That's what we're trying to create. And I'm very, very glad you came through. We're going to go through a lot of things here. But while we're sitting here right now, what do you need from everybody in the African community to get you to that next level, whether it's in film, modeling, red carpet, your books? Like, where can people go and help you push to get you to the next level?
I think showing that support, whether I've been nominated for something and you need to vote, then vote. Or if we need to do films and you have ideas, to reach out. Or, like, comment. Like, one thing I feel like some people feel like you don't have the support. One thing someone told me is ask. But even that's like scripture. Ask. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah.
You would rather ask so someone says no. So it's not rejection, it's redirection.
Yeah.
Like if I ask you for something, you're not saying no, it's just maybe you can't do it now. And
Yeah.
that's okay. And sometimes I feel like us in the community, especially as actors or creatives, we go through a lot of rejection from the industry.
Definitely.
And sometimes it's as easy as other people were just better suitors in that situation. It may have nothing to do with your skin color, or it may just have to be maybe she had better connections, or she suited the role better, or her parents paid for her to be in that role. And that's what I realized as a filmmaker or even a creative in television, realizing that there is different levels on how people get roles.
Yeah.
It's not personal. the director and the producer will have to do what they need to do for their film.
Yeah.
You know?
So, Susan, you created a high profile for yourself within the industry when it comes to that whole glamorous, like the red carpet, the movie, the book, all these TV interviews. I had a high profile, but you still find time to connect with your people. Like, for example, you were here. This is a startup. You were here today. So how do you keep tabs on everything? It's a very busy schedule, man. Like, think about it. Like, here, makeup will take you 2 hours before you walk the red carpet. So how do you find time to stay connected with everybody, and everybody says good things about you? Like, what's the balance?
I think, like I said, it comes back to knowing where everything started first.
Yeah.
And as Susan, I'm African, born in Africa. Africa is within me. It's inside me. It's my skin. It's my blood. It's my ancestors. It's how I create. It's in how I tell my stories.
Yeah.
And you know, if my brother reaches out and says, "Hey, Suze, this is happening," it's my honor and tribute to adding value to what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's I'm not too good for that, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense, because sometimes I have few people that we would use to hang out with them, and then they become a mini star, and then they go, and then they forget they're back, and then sometimes they fail, or sometimes they come back, and then they try and get back in the community, but it's too late for them.
Yeah.
Because people have already made up their mind about them, which is why sometimes some of these kids, they go up, and then when they fall, they're falling even harder.
Yeah.
Because they don't have anybody behind them. But
Yeah.
you are able to set that foundation, which means you're pushing upwards, but you're also bringing along people with you.
Yeah.
Like, people that knows you will not walk around and say, Susan is this, Susan is that.
Yeah.
Which is very important for your image within the African community.
Yeah.
And like you said, like, unapologetic is something that I'm looking forward to, right?
Yeah.
So you got this grant, it's all approved, it's ready to go. When are you thinking of getting this started? Like, when are you thinking of putting this out there so we can see young up and coming talent, so you can mentor them and get them to the next stage? Because role models are hard to find, Susan.
Of course. And to be honest with you, it's a grinding process where I'm trying to get the right ingredients.
Yeah.
You know, like a good jollof takes its own, it needs good ingredients, good palm oil, good onions.
Good meat to make it really
What
the
is
jollof
that?
you want.
Nutmeg.
Is it not?
You know, a little bit of chili.
Yeah, chili on it.
So if I read it back to what I'm doing, I'm trying to get the right production company, the right people, and praying and discerning that I have a good team to carry something that is very true, authentic, and real to me. Because for me, I always want to inspire the next generation. I've always been like that from the get-go. It's something I love, I admire. I have a lot of nieces that I'm very close to.
Yeah.
So seeing what they go through, whether it's bullying, and seeing how they navigate school.
Yeah.
So for me to create a platform that showcases those stories and gives them a voice and a platform for them to be unapologetically themselves, that is the most rewarding, fulfilling purpose, God-given purpose that I would ever. If that door opens like this, it's for me that I'll know I'm doing my purpose on earth.
And you know one thing, once you open that door, that brings me to this next question. What's the legacy that you want to leave when you're done with all of this? What do you want people to say in 10, 15, 20 years' time? You want people to say she laid a platform for that. Like, you want to be that base foundation. What's the legacy you want to leave out there?
I never want to say what is the legacy, like as if Susan is dying tomorrow.
No, you're not dying tomorrow, but I'm saying when you wake up in the morning, say you stop doing all of these, right? Or you're not mentoring people to be in the spotlight, right? When you look back at this project we're talking about right now.
Or this project, you mean?
Yeah. When you look back at it, and then you see some people on screen, some people here, some people are doing bigger things. Like when we all started working in the corporate environment, we all left and we all did different things. But the one thing that everybody within that space did, everybody moved on and did better things.
Of course.
But we all have that one thing in common. We can always go back there. We all started here. You know what I mean? That's how I know you.
Yeah, of course.
That's how I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm trying to say is that when you watch that project,
Yeah.
when it's all said and done, it's done. You pick the right people. We got the right jollof. Everybody's licking their hands and everything is great, right? So when you look, what do you wanna achieve from that?
One thing I would say is my legacy will stand and will inspire. That the legacy that is not like I don't want it to still keep going.
You want to build bigger.
It's because someone can look at me and be like, oh my gosh, I'm envious of Susan. I want to be where Susan is. And I'm like, girlfriend, if you know where I want to be, you should be very worried. Because I don't think I've scratched the surface of what the plans the good Lord has for Susan.
Yeah.
I don't think I've touched the glimpse of that blessing to the capacity of what the favor looks like.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm testing it, I'm leaving it, but I don't think I've feasted on it where I'm
Achieved,
like when you're like,
this is it.
like when you eat, like, have you been to African restaurants and you see these men with these soups, bowl of soups with all different animal parts, and they have pap, and and their eyes light up.
Yeah.
That I don't think I've really touched the capacity of what that looks like. And for me, when you ask me, what does that look like? When you come in the room and you say, Suzan Mutesi sent me, and that opens doors for me, now talk to me.
Very important.
And that's it.
That's very important. That's a legacy. Because
Yeah.
you want your name to mean something.
Of course.
You want your name to be the brand. Because think about it. Right now, what you're doing is a product. The modeling, the acting is a product. You're selling things, right?
She's a brand.
Yeah, now we want to build a brand. That brand lasts with you forever. Like if you look in music entertainment, right? You have some artists, they redefine themselves. They make music, sell music. When the music is finished, who are you?
I've always been Susan.
So this is what you're doing. What you're doing is very, very important because people need to understand the difference between selling a product and being a brand.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Apple. Steve Jobs passed away, Apple still sells.
Of course.
Tim Cook passed away, Apple will still sell.
Yeah.
Susan, when you leave the modeling, the acting, all that glitz and glams, when somebody walks in and says Suzan Mutesi, people will say, okay,
Yeah.
this is it.
And I think people should be very worried because I age gracefully. So I will still be there. So don't even think that she's going nowhere. Listen.
You heard that here first.
She's got age on her toes,
Yeah.
but she's very youthful at the top.
But
Okay, she's still going.
but the thing is, you work really hard. This is what people don't understand.
Yeah, I do.
Like, you work really, really hard. Funny, in the beginning, you said you make everything looks easy.
Yeah, I do.
But there's a lot of work that goes into it.
Of course. You have to carry. Have you seen these African women carry pots on their head? When I was young and I used to visit my grandma, and we used to go to the river and the lake, and we had our jerrycans, and you'd carry that jerrycan, and you look at some of these women were so graceful. They had like voluptuous nyashes and bodies, and they just had like this little thing just tied on their bodies. But the way they carry that pot,
Yeah.
it just looks so graceful. But if you lift that thing off, it's heavy. And I think sometimes I feel like my journey started at a young age, like having all those experiences. I understand how to not have anything, and I understand how to have something.
That's very important.
I've sat on mats, I've slept on the floor, I've sat in 5-star hotels, and I've also eaten nothing, in days when we didn't have food, So I understand the balance of that, and that gratitude of understanding that every day, every moment, every opportunity you go to those red carpets, it's a blessing, and I don't take it for granted.
No, it's definitely one of the
And
things.
it humbles me.
Yeah, but because with that mindset, the skies, you can go anywhere you want to go.
Of course.
Because you're not taking that as a win. You're taking that as a stepping stone.
Yeah, of course.
So now I want to talk to you about your highlights in everything that you do, so we can wrap this up. Let people really know, because your social media tells part of the story, right? But it doesn't really tell the full story. You know what I mean? Because people go online, oh yeah, but then like, for example, like having the Vogue, the Rihanna's, like the Pharrell, like these things show up, but nobody knew what the manifestation was, what the thing that goes through your mind before you get there.
I'm a true believer in manifestation.
So that's what I'm trying to say. People don't understand that mindset is something that's very important. But then also believing that you can get to where you want to get to is very important. Because it starts first with having a mindset, The second stage is believing I can get there. And the third stage is applying yourself. So you are able to break it down, but seamlessly. Because you don't really stress too much about it. You just say it's going to happen, and then you put in the work, and it just happens.
But it's not just work though, because it's also prayer and stewardship. You know, you have a vision. You have a vision for it. You pray for that vision, and you truly believe in it. Even if I showed you my visions, you'll laugh at it. If I told you tomorrow I'm going to be sitting with Rihanna, and that's the vision I have, you'll probably be like, "Girl, please," you know. But then when it happens, what are you going to say? Oh, she probably just get crushed that party and she just showed up. But it's things that I've seen before. And to the normal, it looks like, who is she?
But how do you feel when these things are playing out in front of you? So you have the vision. How do you feel when it plays out?
It's like...
It just feels normal.
No. I'm like, I can't believe this is happening to me right now.
All right, now let's go
like these moments. I remember these moments, like I that Tom Cruise moment. I was like, I don't know why this man is stopping on me, like, literally. I ain't that glamorous. I've got my African hair, you know.
You're just being you, unapologetically yourself.
Just being myself, and without any intentions. Like, I don't, and that's why I say, like, some things, I feel like sometimes it's God's way of showing me off, because he's seen the struggles and the pain and the rejections and the insults and the shameness that they've put on me and the hurtful things people have done to me. And he's like, you know what? Today I'm going to show her off, and she won't even be ready for it.
I'm going to give you your flowers.
And sometimes I'm there and I'm like, this is happening. All right. All right.
Do you actually go back and like...
No, when you're in it, you're not thinking, because you're just like, did I?
What do I
It's
do
until you step out of it, you realize that, because you don't make those. There's some things people may think you can force it, but it's also the favor and the covering that positions you where you need to be. Like, I could be standing here and you could be standing here, and we all receive different things. You know what I mean?
We're in the same spot, but we're receiving different favors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some of us are just blessed. Listen.
Yeah, all right. Let's talk about the highlights. Let's start with the fashion first. I know you want to get away from this. Let's start with the fashion, because that's the first part of your
What
graph.
do you mean? Like what? Okay.
What's your highlight in your fashion? The
I
Vogue,
think
like...
my biggest highlight. Like, I mean, there is more. My prayer is, like, I'll be in more Vogue covers. I'm gonna be in more Vogue covers. I'm gonna be in Vogue Italy, Vogue. I've been Vogue France. I'm gonna be
Vogue
Vogue Italy. I'm gonna be voguing
the whole world.
All right. I'm gonna be in Who magazine. I've been in Who magazine. I'm gonna be in so many magazines that I don't think I've touched those magazines. I wanna be in Harper Bazaar. I wanna be on covers. I'm claiming covers, my friend. So that I can't say it's a highlight. I think my biggest,
so far and throughout the journey.
In fashion, my biggest highlight was sitting in the train one day, going to school every day, and I used to do my designs in my bedroom, my little humble bedroom in my mom's house, and I'll sew every night. I'll come back from school and I'll go back home and I'll sew these gowns, and I'll go back to school in the mornings, and I'm so tired. Then one day, my girlfriend, she was on the train, and on the biggest newspapers, it was an MX newspaper.
Oh, the MX newspapers.
Remember those ones? And it had Suzan Mutesi, fashion designer, dresses icon. They called me iconic.
Wow.
And okay, and now you know you've been toiling and you're humbly starting your little business. I was 13.
Wow.
I was 13.
That's big, man.
And that was a highlight because I felt it. It felt different. Yeah. And I sat there, and she puts up the paper like this, and she's like, Susan, you know when you have your classmates and they don't know what's going on? No. And I sat to her and I'm like, if you knew the dreams I had, that's nothing. But that was a highlight at such a young age for me. And another highlight would be Vogue, being at this Vogue Paris, and London, and I had this orange dress. I looked like a big orange ball, like a giant, massive ball, gigantic tennis ball, and orange. And I remember seeing David Beckham, Victoria Beckham, Edward,
the who's who,
the Michelles, Oh my Lord, pinch me, Jesus. I was like,
There's more.
there's more.
There's more.
Cheers to that. You know.
There's more.
You
There's
know.
more. Like I can feel when you
You
close your
know.
eyes. I can see you close your eyes, and I
Oh.
can see that you're seeing more. But that's great. Like, okay, now,
Yeah.
what's the advice you can give to people that want to walk this path? Because there are a lot of people out there that don't know what to do.
I think
What's your advice you can give to them?
I think my first thing is start anyway. You don't need followers. You don't need famous, to be famous. You don't need, just start from anywhere. You have a phone, start filming. You have a friend who can hold a camera, start shooting. We're in a digital age
Yep.
generation where content can be picked up anywhere.
Anywhere in the world.
People go viral on
There's no-
TikTok.
there's no more boundaries.
Songs go viral on TikTok. What is limiting you is you.
Yeah.
The only person stopping you is not your mom, it's not your friend, it's you. Be your biggest cheerleader. Love yourself. Go after your dreams, even if they seem impossible, even if they seem like they are not attainable. If it makes sense to you, trust me, it will make sense to the right people. Build whatever you build, and the right people will join you. Sometimes we just have to start from wherever you are. You don't have to be in a different room. Start in your kitchen, start in your bedroom. I used to do my gowns in my bedroom, and they were dressing up people on X Factor. Kelly Rowland was wearing my clothes on The Voice. Do you know where they were made? In my bedroom. Start wherever you are. Believe in yourself and trust that the good Lord, and pray. Sister, pray. Brother, pray. I know we don't have to get spiritual, but for me, that humbles me. It reminds me that to get everything I need is on my knees.
Yeah.
And my things don't just come easily. They come from a greater place, because that also gives you confidence to face the day. You're going to have naysayers. You're going to have haters. You're going to have haters in your own community. You're going to have haters from the Caucasians. You're going to have haters everywhere. So the world's against you, and that's normal. If you're not being hated on, you're doing little. So even if your girlfriend's telling you that dream is too small, that's your first hate. So girl, do you, do you. If you want to make braid, start from your niece. Get the hair and start practicing. If you want to do TikTok, get your phone. Even if it's I Nokia and it's still got a camera, girl, do you. At the end of the day, you never know what could change your destiny. Yeah. And I personally, you may see me like I've arrived. I'm yet to touch what God has
planned for you.
The plans God has for me and my visions. Listen, me and him are like this. Yeah. I'm like, I want this, trust me, there is so much more. There is space for everyone. There is you don't have to look at your neighbor. Who cares what everyone's doing? Run your own lane. There is space for you. There is space for everyone. The world's so big. We need everyone to create something unique. Yeah.
But that's very interesting what you said, because thinking about the way the world is, the digital age, there are no more boundaries.
Of course.
You're not in Africa. You're not in...
Have you seen those Africans do movies?
Don't even start me now. Don't even start me.
And I was like, wait, was that a karate move on an iPhone?
This guy's like making some crazy content just with the iPhone. And they have the like iPhone 12.
Yeah.
iPhone 10.
Of course.
And we're out here with iPhone 15s, iPhone 16s.
Oh, yeah. No, they're slight.
And we can't even compare to the level at which they operate.
No.
But you know what I want to say to you, Susan? Like, as a friend, as someone who's been watching your growth, to where you are now, and what you said, this is just the beginning of your journey.
Thank you.
Right? So, from the Afro-Aussie team, I want to thank you very much for coming through.
Oh, thank you.
And if you need anything that we can do to get you to that next level, I'm saying it here on camera, feel free to let us know. Because at the end of the day, we are a team.
Yeah, of course.
If you think about it, we are a team. If we start moving in forces, like if this podcast get to a new level, you get to a new level, guess what? You have a home. You have a place to premiere your content. But what I'm saying is that collaboration is very important.
Yeah, of course.
Because if you create a whole ecosystem, everything stays within it. Mm-hmm. Like if you go and pay a Caucasian makeup artist, that's money going out of the community.
Of course.
We went to a restaurant today. That's money staying within the community.
Yeah, of course.
And they were out there trying to beg you to make content for them. But you get the cycle. So the reason why we need to keep it within the cycle is because we are a very small community.
Yeah.
And if we can all get together and push each other, we can be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
So I thank you very much for coming through.
Oh, I wouldn't miss this for anything. I had to see my brother and see and understand and share. And I think it's always good to sit with your own people and have a drink and check on people. And sometimes it's just like,
Hi, how are you?
hey, yeah. This is like, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
But that's the beauty. Like what you do is very important to our community.
Thank you.
Because
Thank you.
people don't understand the influence you have out there. People now know that Africans can reach that heart.
That humbles me an immense
No, I'm being really, really honest with you because if you
Yeah.
think about it, there are people out there who don't even know they can get to go to Paris Fashion Week, let alone get on the X Factor. Like, when was the last time you really saw Africans really pushing hard on all this talent show? It's been a while.
Yeah.
So we need to get that fire burning again. But with all honesty, thank you for coming from the Afro Aussie team. We couldn't thank you enough.
Oh,
It's been a pleasure having you.
Medase, gracias, merci beaucoup. Where are they? I've
Me
said
want me money back.
we done it.
Thank you. We
Thank
out.
you.
Peace.